I want to share with you guys 5 things you should know before getting married. Yes, before the brother put that ring on it. These 5 things are going to help you decide if are you ready or are you not ready. Anyway, let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you've stopped over on this video, I'm going to assume 1, probably the brother has put the ring on it, or 2, you've been asked and you're still thinking about it, or 3, you just nosy, you just want to know. Anyway, whatever the reason is, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support, guys. And after this video, if obviously you've liked it, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe and be part of my YouTube family. Anyway, without wasting your time, on today's video, as you've seen with the title of today's video, I want to share with you guys 5 things you should know before getting married. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first thing that I will share with you guys, obviously, will be both of you need to be aware on what you're bringing to the marriage, okay? Some people bring in finance, some people bring in love, some people bring in confusion. It doesn't matter what it is, but you both need to be in agreement and you both need to know exactly why you are getting married. Basically, that's what it is. These days, it's just not enough to say I love a person because of how we live. So you have to decide on certain factors. Whatever that is, you both need to know what is it that you're bringing into that marriage, because now you need, as I've said, you need more than love, and you need more than saying, oh, I can bring money. Money, it's not just about the money. It's not just about a love. It's about other factors as well. Point number 2, as a woman or as a guy, if you're watching this, you need to understand that your partner is not going to complete you. A good example, I'm going to say, obviously, it's myself. Before I got married, one of the things I knew exactly, that he wasn't going to complete me that way. One of the things, obviously, that I love doing is traveling. One of the things we discussed when we decided to get married was obviously for him to understand, just because I'm getting married to you, just because I'm going to be your wife, I don't want to be in a position where you're going to tell me that my place now, I'm your wife, is in the kitchen or is, cooking your meals or doing your ironing or doing your cleaning or the washing. I still wanted to do my traveling because for me, since I was a little girl, I've always dreamed of traveling. And when I travel, that fulfills me in so many ways. Yes, in different ways than how my husband or how my kids or how my family as a whole fulfills me. It's one of the things that I need to feed on. I call myself the child of the world. So I love to travel. So when you do decide to get married, so just make sure that your husband understands what is going to fulfill you as a person, not as a wife, not as a mom, but you as a person. Because if you are fulfilled with whatever that is that you want to fulfill yourself, then you're going to be a happy person. Then you're going to feel as a whole. Then it's easier for you then to give your all to your family, to your kids, or to whoever is around you. You need to be fulfilled. And for you to understand that your partner is not going to completely fulfill you, it is very, very important. Point number 3. Once you are married or once you're into marriage, you need to understand that conflicts are going to happen between you and your partner. Some conflicts are big, some are small, but you cannot avoid them. They will happen day to day. They might happen monthly. They might happen, any time of the year. So it is very important that you recognize them as early as they even about to happen or are happening. And lastly, you need to be able to obviously resolve them. A lot of people, one of the best advice that I was given by my uncle, my late uncle, he used to tell me that nobody is always right. If you feel that you've been right and Sam's been wrong, and it's creating a problem, you need to make sure before you go to bed, you try and resolve it. Do not go to bed angry with your partner, because it builds on that and then it becomes something big. You cannot avoid conflicts, they will happen, but make sure that before you go to bed, you resolve them. And the easiest way is, if you can recognize them early, that they're gonna become huge problems, deal with them there and there. A good example I'm gonna give you is, obviously, before I got married to Sam, we lived together, and one of my pet hates, which I believe, speaking to my friends as well, some of their partners do the same thing, where a washing basket is just in the corner, and when he takes his clothes off, the clothes go on the floor. I'm not trying to shame him, but that is one of my pet hate, and I knew that there and there, this is the issue I'm going to have to address, because it's going to make me, obviously, it's going to make this little issue a big problem. Even now, when we're married, he still sometimes do it, but I make sure that I remind him there and there to say, hey, sir, your clothes are on the floor, please put them on the basket. Because if I do not tell him that, it's going to make me angry. And once you're angry, all sorts of things come out of your mouth, and I'm one of those people, when I'm not happy with something, I will say it there and there, because I don't want to raise it after we can say, as well as leaving your clothes on the floor. No, once I've dealt with that problem, it's done. We both go to bed happy. He goes, he picks up his clothes, he put them in the laundry, and then it's done. Point number 4, this one is very, very important to me, okay? It is very important that you remember that your family relationship or your family obligations are very important to you. They need to know that, So if you're one of those girls or one of those guys that are looking after their family, or they have family commitment, like especially financially, you need to make them understand from day one, Some people, especially if you married into different mixed race, the way we are raised, it's different. I had to make my husband understand that I'm almost like a breadwinner at home. So whatever responsibilities or obligations or commitments that I had with my family, I still need to keep on with those. Obviously, I had to adjust a few things, which I had a chat with my family to say, now I'm married, I've got a husband, and I've got a kid, or kids now, because then obviously there was one kid, now 2 children. I had to have a conversation and say things are going to change. I did not just pull out of my commitments with my family, but I kind of made my husband understand before we got married that, listen, if this is going to be a problem, you putting a finger on it or you marrying me, then I think, brother, we gotta have to think of other ways. And when I explained it to him, he understood. We agreed that fine, you can continue taking care of your family, you can continue on your commitment with your family. It doesn't affect our relationship, because I told him from day one, what partners don't like is surprises, and at the end of the day, you're not married to their family. Yes, it might be in some way, but marriage is between 2 people. As long as the person you're married to is clear on what is happening in terms of your commitments or your obligations with your family, then you are good, sis. And point number 5, this one is tied up in 3 ways. The first one, you need to obviously discuss or need to be aware of, is the point of children, right? And obviously your career and finance, or financially, what's going on. So in terms of children, you need to communicate with your partner before you even get married if you want to have kids or you don't want to have kids. It's okay to be like me, obviously, in my position where I didn't want kids, and 2 years down our marriage, I changed my mind, because one of the main reasons for me was because all the other things we spoke about before marriage, he obviously agreed with them, and I used to see how amazing he was with, or he is with, his two nieces. And I thought to myself, you know what, I cannot deny this man, you know, little people, little me and little him. So I ended up changing my mind, and it was one of the best decisions, I think, or change of mind that I've ever done. And now, as bad as this may sound, if I have to go away, I do not have to stress, because sometimes I feel like he does, it's not even sometimes, he does a better job as a dad than me as a mom. He is absolutely amazing. So for that reason, I know that I made the right decision. So it is very important to discuss, obviously, about the children. If you're gonna have children or you're not gonna have children, you don't want to make that decision when you're already married, because that will be you two heading for divorce. And then in terms of your career, right, some guys meet you when you are single, you're climbing your career ladder, and as soon as they've put the ring on it, they're like, okay, you stay at home, mom, or you can't do this, you're mom. If you're trying to go out with your friends, who's gonna look after the kids because you're the mom? No, just because, you know, I'm the mother, I didn't have these kids by myself. You know what I mean? So you gotta help me out here. So just because I'm a mother now, it doesn't mean that now suddenly everything, my career has a stop. I have to focus in on being a wife or being a mom. Doesn't work like that. So you share the responsibilities of that. So your change in career or you stopping your career need to be your decision, and you need to talk about it and say, okay, am I going to continue? If I am going to continue like climbing the ladder of my career, what do we do about childcare and all sorts of things? One of the things we did with my husband, we knew we needed help. In the UK, childcare is so expensive in such a way that I felt like we were just working to pay childcare. So we took a decision that maybe we're better off moving from England down to Wales to be nearer Sam's family, and now we can get help with childcare. If we're both in work, grandma can go and pick up the kids from school because it's around her house. So that was one of the decisions we had to make, obviously, even though we made the decision obviously after we got married, but it was important that we obviously make that decision together. Should we have decided obviously to have kids, the conversation of the kids come up before we were married, I doubt it was, because when we got married, we agreed that there were not going to be any kids. Obviously, circumstances changed, and we had to make that decision for both of us to continue working in our chosen careers. So it's important you speak to the brother if you're going to have to sacrifice your career, or he's going to have to sacrifice his career, or if you're going to get extra help. If you've got loads of this, get nannies, but it's up to you however you want to do it. And then the last one, which I've touched on, is the finance bit. It is important before you get married that you discuss, if are you going to have joint account? Are you keeping your separate accounts? I'm not talking about marrying in community of property or whatever. That's something else. I'm talking about your finances. If you keeping your bank account, you're opening another bank account, a joint account where you're all going to pay bills. Basically, you talk about all the money. Who's paying for what? Who's paying for what? What is it that you're putting together? And where's that money going? It's very important you do that, because when the time comes, and regardless if you're earning less or you're earning more than your partner, the reason this is important is because that way you are going to be able to not feel guilty when they're spending certain amount of money towards something and vice versa. Just make sure you discuss it with your partner and agree on what's what. So those are my 5 important things you need to know before you get married. So make sure that discussion happen before you put the ring on it or you walk down that aisle, and everything else will be so easy to follow. I hope this video has been very helpful, obviously in making that decision. And obviously, if you haven't made the decision, in making sure that you have the discussion before you walk down the aisle. And if you've liked this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and please do share it. And also do not forget to subscribe and be part of my family. As for now, I'm gonna leave you be with your loved ones, you know, you staring at your ring, or, you know, giving him a call, telling him you've made up your decision because you've seen this video. I'm only joking. But anyway, yeah, I hope this video was very, very helpful, guys. And I will see you on my next video. Bye.